run, yeah.
That makes you smile.
Okay, it's 6:30.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, we'll bring the Watts Township Supervisors meeting to order with the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay.
Did you find that flag that was at the community center?
Not yet, no. Okay, we'll read the minutes from last month's meeting.
The Watts Township Board of Supervisors meeting was called to order at 6:30 p.m. on December 3rd, 2014 in the Buffalo Fire Hall. A motion was made to address Frank Powell's resignation. Radinsky, Gutau, motion carried. A motion was made to amend the agenda to show that Watts Township received an email from Supervisor Powell on the morning of November 21st, 2014, the day following an executive session he had requested to discuss his resignation, and the day following an extended period of days, again that he had requested to contemplate the decision. That email stated that Supervisor Powell resigned his position as a supervisor of Watts Township effective as of December 3rd, 2014. Today, December 3rd, 2014, at 4:29 p.m., 2 hours prior to this public supervisors meeting, Mr. Powell sent an email to the Watts Township office rescinding his resignation. Therefore, as per the motion passed at last month's public meeting, this matter will be immediately referred to the Perry County District Attorney by our Township Solicitor to have Mr. Powell legally removed from office. Watts Township officials will no longer deal with this matter. From this point forward, the matter of Mr. Powell's resignation will now be in the hands of the Perry County District Attorney and the Perry County Court of Common Pleas. Gutau, Radinsky, Powell opposed, motion carried. Solicitor Feenickel stated that the board did not have an opportunity to accept Mr. Powell's resignation before he rescinded it, and in a previous memo submitted to the township indicating that the district attorney is the official responsible with dealing with the supervisor who has an eligibility issue, and it's up to the district attorney in a quo warranto legal action, and the district attorney will handle that in that manner. That is the legal mechanism for dealing with this issue. He has conveyed this to Supervisor Powell and the township. Under the law, until a resignation of a supervisor is formally accepted, it is technically not effective. Chairman Radinsky announced an executive session was held November 20th, 2014 for the purpose of potential legal matters. A motion was made to approve the minutes as read. Gutau, Radinsky, motion carried unanimously. Public comment. Brian Rice Snyder commented that at the last Planning Commission in November, they had a productive driveway ordinance discussion. A possibility was discussed to include driveway paving standards as part of the ordinance. The driveway committee therefore is requesting that the board direct the township engineer to draft these standards. This would be for existing driveways. A motion was made to authorize engineer Spees to proceed with the draft. Radinsky, Gutau, motion carried unanimously. Zoning officer, 2 permits were issued. A report was submitted. Mr. Hart turned in mileage forms for the last 2 months. He announced that he is now a certified zoning officer issued by the Pennsylvania Association of Zoning Officials. The landscaping issue regarding the Verizon cell tower will be addressed in the spring by them. Engineer, Jerry still has not heard anything regarding the general permit for the stream bed at the firehouse. Regarding the Luke Step driveway, he has done a traffic study, and there will be a new speed limit through the turns. He does have enough sight distance. Mr. Stepp has agreed in writing to pay for all the signage, traffic study, and permit. A check for $500 was given to the secretary for these costs. Jerry has checked the speed limit on Bucks Church Road. There are currently 2 driveways. He recommended posting hidden driveway signs. Jerry will check the speed limit on Spinning Wheel. Solicitor Feenickel advised to change the speed limits on any road. The ordinance would need to be amended after a traffic study is done. After all the traffic studies are done, the ordinance will be proposed for amendment. Supervisor Powell asked Solicitor Feenickel who can rescind a motion. The answer is anyone on the board. Supervisor Powell asked what the status of a plan or application after the time frame or extension of time has passed the date for action by the township after the 90-day time or further extension expires and no action has been taken. The answer is the plan is deemed approved as submitted. Question: after the time has expired, the only legal action the board can take is approve the application as last submitted. Answer: assuming that the time period was not met in the MPC and ordinance, yes. Question: does the Sunshine Act require all township official actions, decisions, and deliberations on decisions take place at a meeting open to the public? Answer: generally, yes. The motion made in October, after a board vote on any issue and if new information is brought to the Secretary's attention that she feels warrants a change in the board vote because it's in the best interest of the township, that she is given the latitude and discretion to make changes in a timely fashion, Gutal-Radinsky, motion carried, will be sent to Solicitor Feenicle for his legal opinion. Solicitor Feenicle then left the meeting. Fire Company, Joe Baker presented the financial report. Old Business, Secretary Conjoli has drafted the letter to the residents on Rising Sun Drive. She will forward it for the other supervisors' approval. 2013 audit, Supervisor Gutal has spoken with Tom Rainier. He has had a death in the family that he has had to deal with. A motion was made to allow Tom to take the records to his home to complete the audit. Radinsky, Gutal, motion carried. A motion was made to scan the records to send to Tom. Gutal passed, motion carried. Status of saldo. Jerry has made the necessary revisions. A copy will be given to the supervisors and then the solicitor for review. Secretary Conjoli received clarification on notifying 911 on the addresses on Pondview Lane and Fox Lane. Carl will get the addresses and Nancy will forward to 911. A written report on the road inspection is unavailable as none of the road names or actions to be taken were written down by any of the supervisors. Chairman Radinsky clarified that the supervisors will be notified in advance of the solicitor's attendance at the board meeting. New business, a motion was made to adopt the 2015 budget. Gutal-Radinsky, Paust opposed, motion carried. Supervisor Paust questioned if tax resolution 14-05 states dollar amounts. Secretary Conjoli replied yes. A motion was made to advertise the PSATS Unemployment Group Trust Intermunicipal Agreement, reinstating our membership in the group. Gutal-Radinsky, motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to advertise the organizational meeting for January 5th, 2015 at 1 p.m. and to advertise the 2015 board meeting dates as the first Wednesday of each month at 6:30 p.m., the Planning Commission on the second Wednesday of each month at 7 p.m., and the auditors meeting January 6, 2015. Gutal-Radinsky, motion carried. Roadmaster, the line painting has been completed. There were many thanks from the residents. Planning Commission, Supervisor Gutal reported it was a more peaceful, productive meeting in a while. She asked Brian Reifsnyder to please include in totality all of the recording of the meetings on the Concerned Citizens website. The difficulty the Secretary is having with posting on the Township website was discussed. It was suggested that a simpler software be gotten that is user-friendly. Brian Reifsnyder stated there is free software out there and should be checked into. Chairman Radinsky reported he has obtained a new snowplow for the white truck for free. The cost to customize it was approximately $800 instead of $8,000 for a new one. Supervisor Powell stated the budget for 2014 has been exceeded in some categories. Secretary Conjoli tried to explain the reasons for the overages. He stated the overages are illegal. He referenced Section 3202.F of the second-class Township Code Book, and if allocations are still being made to the categories, it is inappropriate and should have been addressed months ago. Secretary Conjoli admitted she did not know the answer on how to address the situation. Solicitor Feenicle will be contacted for his advice on how to adjust the budget. A motion was made to pay the bills and any bills that come due before the next meeting. Gutal-Radinsky, Paust opposed, motion carried. A motion was made to adjourn the meeting. Gutal, motion died for lack of second. A motion was made to adjourn the meeting. Gutal-Radinsky, motion carried. Chairman Radinsky reopened the meeting. Supervisor Paust addressed the board with a statement of his personal opinion on the board's current and previous actions and their treatment of the residents. A motion was made to adjourn the meeting. Radinsky, Paust, motion carried.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
Second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Resend this one.
not, what's that?
That's for the rescinding motion.
I just
Yeah.
want to make a statement. I am recording the meeting.
Yeah, go ahead and make a motion.
Yeah, I just like to make a motion to rescind the motion
Right.
that I made, giving our secretary latitude to change or modify a board vote during the month based on new information. She feels it is in the best interest of the township, so I'm rescinding that motion at this time, and we'll revisit it at another time. Second?
Second, yeah, go in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay, we got that. Nancy, do you want to read them off?
He's getting dry. Can
Do you want to read
Read
them?
off what? Oh,
Read it
public
out.
comment.
Yeah,
Does he need a water?
I got him.
yeah.
Is this public comment?
Yes.
Yep.
On what you just read?
It's for whatever.
I have a question. I have my neighbor. I think it has to do with the driveway that's going through his land. It's probably loose steps, and he told me about it in May, that there was a pole going up, so I just have some questions on that. Is that old business, or where would that be covered?
Yeah, you can ask your questions.
Yeah, it appears that it's going through, I mean, as a landowner, I'm worried that he's putting a driveway through someone else's property, so I just had some questions on that.
Yeah, go ahead, because I know I've been speaking with Mr. Hunter.
And Jerry
Luke
could answer
and Luke.
probably all your questions.
Yeah.
You want to answer, Jerry?
Mr. Speed?
Yeah, Jerry Engineer will probably, I mean, I don't know if there are questions that are,
Well, it'll affect all landowners because the township roads are right of way, correct?
Yes.
So, but I know that, because Charlie told me his line, the road,
Okay, he has his line marked out there.
yeah.
And
But
where
I-
the driveway was, the last driveway that went in
Yeah,
is in the right of way of the township road.
uh-huh.
Even though there's grass there, it's still within the right of way. So he, at that point, he owns the whole road, that. He actually owns the land on the road.
But it,
But the right of way, it's where it is in the right of way. And I said, he is step abuts the right of way at where that last driveway went in.
and I know that the surveyor has been around,
Yeah.
but, I mean, it actually concerns all people who have township roads. Because it appeared, because Mark had come and he said, look what's happening, and it looked like it was going through his land because the road curves like this through, the line is straight, but the road sort of goes like this. And it appeared that the road was going through township, no, through Mark's Hunter's property, crossing Hunter's property. And,
But I said, where that driveway is cut
yeah,
is, it's Hunter owns property in there, but it is, all Hunter's property is within the township right of way at that point.
so the township is giving Hunter's property, is using Hunter's property to allow,
No, the right of way, it's a public right of way.
right,
Or anybody can use that land, is my understanding, but it can get between the lawyers.
because as a farmer, I know that anytime anybody, because we have a lane that the state put in that crossed 2 feet onto our property, the liability if somebody got hurt.
Was that in the right of way? Or
It
was
was
it outside
on
the
a-
right of way?
It was on a state, had put a ramp across the river, across the canal. And our liability, this is going back 93, we found out that that little 2 feet where they had come onto our property to curve onto the other side.
But was that in the right of way?
Yeah, it led from, well,
It depends whether it was in the right of way or not.
well, of course, that was owned property.
Then Pastor said they
Right
don't do
away,
it. Just paid
there's
the
one where the
Wait.
state
spring rates.
owns it.
We need to talk
And the
after the
township.
meeting or something.
I don't have the
Okay, because I just wanted to.
I just paid the
make-
spring,
because it is
but
just
I
a
didn't
right
get
of way.
any
The
invoices.
township road,
New
right?
I'll
invoice
call
coming
something
in
up.
January.
Okay.
Because I know I've been speaking with Mark.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we've been dialoguing, and
Okay.
the day before yesterday, he called me, and then also with Luke Stepp.
What a second.
So I have been sort of trying to hopefully maybe have a meeting of the minds between the two,
Yeah.
and so I can talk to you more about that
But I don't know
later.
if you're worried about the liability issue.
Right, and that's where Mark is concerned.
Yeah, as a
And
farmer, we
right.
have to be very careful, even 2 feet can get us into trouble.
Yeah,
If there's a horrible accident,
right.
someone is killed or injured.
Yeah, and that's what Mark was concerned about.
Oh, okay.
He had gone to his attorney and discussed a few things. Yep. Okay.
Sean Cumberland. Just want to let everybody aware, know, public information. We're having a lot of people late at night walking properties, attempting break-ins, where people are getting security systems. We had cameras put up. There is 2 pictures, but they're not real clear. So what we're suggesting to people to do, if you have access to any kind of hunting trail cameras or anything like that, to go ahead and put them up on your property. We don't know who the people are, but obviously it's against the law because they're coming late at night. There's a lot of elderly people on our road. So, you know, we don't get very much police patrol, obviously, because, you know, the state covers that, we don't have town. So just want to put it out there that maybe keep your eyes open, keep an eye on your neighbors. I live back again in Knoxford.
You've seen people out there at night?
I haven't seen them. There's been witnesses saying that they caught them talking right outside their window. There is pictures, but you can't make out the picture. The cameras aren't real good, so we're investing in better cameras, obviously. Now with the security we put up, we have the newer style cameras, but the other cameras is what I guess called the images, but they weren't real clear. So me and a bunch of the other neighbors are working on better cameras now for the ones that can't afford the security systems or whatnot. Trail cameras, which work just as well.
This is your area, there's nothing in our area.
As far as I know, it's only back in our area because we live in the dead end, so.
I know exactly where you're at.
yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
I just want to pass that information along.
Yeah, thank you.
Everything on Orange Road. This is a good time to share with everyone that Donna Ellenberger got a tea can that was shot up and was put in her mailbox.
A what? Tea can. What's a tea can? Oh, a tea can, a can that,
A can that you get tea out of,
a tea, okay.
and it was
Shot
shot
in her
up and
mailbox.
it was put in her mailbox.
And that's
Wow.
out at the dead end also.
That's, this is all happening at the dead end.
That's a threat,
Yeah, Brett and it's a federal.
What'd you do with it? What'd you do with the can?
She has,
She still has it.
She had to turn it
Did you
over.
pull some get some prints of it maybe?
Yeah.
it's not done.
No.
Okay.
It was a federal offense putting it in the mailbox.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And
But
And it's a threat.
without going out getting prints, you know, it's still gonna be a dead issue. You know. Okay, we'll move on. Zoning officer,
You have my report in front of you, hopefully. I issued one permit for couple living on Malaport Road, West Boulevard, for an addition to the property, to the building. I have my mileage report.
Go ahead,
Uh,
look at that when you get a chance.
no.
Demolition firm that was doing Amity Hall is finished with the building. They'll be back to add some more topsoil over and to remove the sign when weather breaks. The property owner wants the sign as memorabilia. That's all I
Okay.
have.
We had created a new mileage form. Did we send those out yet?
Yeah.
That is it.
No, the
I'll
new,
get one.
Yeah. It's the one I use.
the one that said the purpose, the details, purpose details. Are you familiar with that one, Nancy?
Yes, I thought I'd given you some of those. Maybe you just grabbed an old one. Yeah.
All right, can we make it a point to make sure that new one is used? It has,
Where you're going and what you're getting.
the purpose on here is zoning, but the purpose
Yeah.
for the travel is not listed.
No, not this one. I think the one I had did have one.
The new one has a purpose for the
Yeah.
travel, not just to and from. It has to and from, but then
And
the
what the-
purpose for traveling.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Yeah.
it yet?
I don't believe I've seen that, but that's fine.
Can we send him another
I
copy?
will take care of it.
Yeah.
Maybe send him another copy then, so we can be sure that he has it. Thank you.
Okay. The engineer,
I still have not heard anything about the general permit yet. I did prepare the driveway paving standards, and the planning commission and the driveway committee is looking into it. So we're looking at the standards, I think, and we'll probably be discussing them at the next meeting. I did do a stop and yield signs at Amity and Notch, and
I saw it, yeah.
drawing up to the supervisors to look at.
Over here.
And as far as traffic studies, we did the one for Center Road for the speed reduction. And then I was asked to also revisit Bucks Church Road, which I think is the right speed limit, 40 miles per hour. And I was also asked to look at spinning wheel, and I think it was properly posted. It just has some driveways that, and the signs are already up about hidden driveways.
Okay.
I have a question on this sketch. If I'm looking at this right, you're putting a stop except right turn sign if you're coming from the dead end
Yes.
and turning right.
Yeah.
And then you're putting a yield sign right before they hit the road.
Yeah. Stop sign coming that way.
Stop sign coming from this direction.
Yeah, right there.
What happens to the fellow who's on Notch coming from my house and is turning left?
He just
He just keeps going.
Okay.
That's our problem.
That's
the problem right there.
That's our problem.
Yeah.
We're not stopping them then. This, what you propose says to stop except right turn, so they can keep moving if they
have to
yield.
yield to those
If they
people
yield,
on Notch.
right. But now we have a stop sign there where you have the yield up, so they have to stop. They know they have to stop there. If these people are flying around this corner and these are just yielding, that may, in my view, may open up more of a problem with both of them yielding, if you will. I would question that idea. I mean, there's currently a stop sign there. I'm not clear myself on what the complaint was about the stop sign down
The
there.
stop sign, they say they have a hard time turning their head to see the traffic coming around that road, coming around the turn.
Linda Heffenfinger, when I'd asked you, Carl, about it, you said a traffic study would have to be done.
Yeah.
And that's why we couldn't put a stop sign in. But we need a stop sign there.
There's one,
From Frank's Way into.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's, we're with the state man.
oh, you want one coming from
Your place.
my place?
Right there. the
Actually,
crossroads.
you'd want this sign here moved down into here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
because we've
that's-
gotten that out there, and that's no function out at the end there. That needs to be put over on
Is
the
that
other
possible,
side.
Jerry? Just move the stop sign?
I don't see the purpose for it up here. because if you're on this
It's
road,
coming
you're
that
going
way,
straight.
yeah. So actually, down, we got this driveway right here.
Let me see, I can't see with your,
We had it back on Notch
It's in the
Road.
There's a driveway
That
right
was
here.
good.
It goes up the hill there.
right, yeah, I know that, okay.
Okay, so
So-
you get the stop, put the stop sign on the west side of the driveway.
On Frank's side.
Yeah.
Would be, yes. And then
That's what
that one that was normally, originally at the end of Notch.
Yeah.
On our road, that should be back where it was.
Yeah.
Back when it.
Yeah.
Where it was up there where we're putting the right turn,
Yeah,
except right turn.
Yeah.
yes. Now, do you remember where it originally
But
was?
if it was okay there,
Yes.
then the yield, it should be okay to have a yield down there.
But if someone's coming out around there or coming in, that yield's not going to help them.
Which one?
If you're coming in Notch, to go around Notch.
Yeah.
If you don't have a stop sign over here, the person that's coming this way is going to come around there anyway. And if you have a stop sign at the end of Notch, then that stops that person that would stop someone over the other.
It's actually like this.
That's the way the road is, right like that. That's coming from Frank's. This is coming from
Okay.
your way.
Okay, yeah, so it knows I'm coming out here,
Yeah.
and yields, yeah. Turn,
Yes.
yeah.
Please clarify, you're putting that on the main drag of Notch where it goes into Amity, or are you putting it on the dead end Notch side?
When you say we need one on either,
This,
we need one on your side.
Well, you're gonna put it at the top of that hill with school buses and stuff, if we
No,
got bad weather.
it's not, it's on the flat end. It's right at the corner, where we come up off the Amity onto
I'm not
Notch.
sure I understand if you have to turn your head so hard at what he's
I
having.
don't I
When-
don't understand why anybody can't see there.
no,
because
what-
I have no problem.
If you have to turn
That's
your
my
head, you
head.
gotta turn it for a yield also.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing is, the sign got moved from here to down here.
Yes.
So now you have to not only stop, you're stopping, you can see from up here, you can pretty much see the traffic coming and going, and now it got moved way down here, so you have to really crank your head
And that
around.
should be a stop up top,
Yeah,
including the right turn.
that's not a
Yeah.
bad, I mean, that's fine.
That's what it's supposed to be.
The problem is, there's a yield, there's also
A stop sign right
a
there.
stop sign right here, which is a real pain, because traffic gets backed up on Amity.
I think the current stop is here,
There's one
and
there.
here, and here. There's three. One,
Yeah, one,
two,
Two, three,
three.
So
right.
this should be a regular stop,
With the right turn.
and this should be a yield then.
Right.
Take the right turn off, because if you're not stopping, then you're gonna fly around there, you know what I'm
You're not
saying?
wrong.
And if
Yeah.
you're flying around and they're flying around, that, to me, that's an invitation for trouble. It should just remove the except right turn.
All right, your house is down here, right?
Yes.
You're down here? Okay, so, yeah, this stop sign though was, as you're coming up here, you have to stop. There's a stop sign here, which, number one, it's, you
Oh,
can't really
that's for
stop.
coming- for
That's for
coming off
coming
of
this
Amity.
way.
Yeah, right.
Coming
That
off
should
of
be
Amity
there,
back
yeah.
onto the dead end of
And that
Notch.
should be there, because.
No,
it-
yes, I'll tell you, the reason it shouldn't is because, number one, you don't have to drive it, we do. Number two, there's no need to stop there, and people have had traffic backed up. There's been several times where there's cars backed up a couple car lengths here, and this is a hill, so you're having to stop on a hill.
Okay, if we don't, okay, let's say.
There was
we're-
never a stop sign there before.
Let's just say that triangle wasn't there.
You know, and that was
Okay,
another,
okay,
that
now
was
listen,
another
now just listen.
suggestion that Jerry
Please,
made,
Please, just listen. Let's just say that this was a regular T intersection,
Mm-hmm.
and you approached it.
right?
You would have to stop.
Not on the way back up.
Yes, you
If it
would.
was a regular T, you'd have
If
to
it was a
stop.
regular T.
You would come straight out to there like that.
Right, you would have to stop.
And you'd have to turn right or turn left.
Right, you see what we're
You
saying?
wouldn't have this and you wouldn't have this.
You see what we're saying?
Okay,
It'd be like that.
we're not talking, okay, we're talking.
We're
If it
talking-
were, if it were.
If it were that way, that's,
So, and that's what we have now, okay? Only there's an island in the middle.
yeah, see, we have that.
So technically, if it were regular
Wait, okay,
intersection,
well,
we would have to
let's do it the way I'm
stop.
looking
Somebody
at
would
it.
have to stop.
Okay, Notch Road, dead end of Notch Road is
Right.
here, right?
Right.
Okay, so as you're coming on here, if you had a T, you'd stop and go right.
Okay,
And as you're coming back this way,
You'd stop.
around here, there isn't a stop.
right. There would have to be, somebody would have to stop this way,
This way.
or
And
this
what
way.
we're saying is that a stop sign, for the most part, the least amount of travel through is here. So if the stop sign is here, that's the least amount, most
And that-
people aren't
that makes
coming down
sense. If
Notch.
that's gonna slow them down, that makes sense.
Yeah,
But
that's-
You'd actually have to put it probably before that driveway.
Yeah, no, that's,
That side of the
Yeah.
driveway.
so,
exactly right.
I don't think anyone has an objection for a stop sign here, coming this way, because hardly anybody does.
Right, it's just, there's a little bit of a hill there, but
Right,
I don't
right.
think it's,
It ain't that much.
The problem that everybody on Notch Road, that we all deal with, is ingress and egress coming out here
Yeah.
and having to stop here, and there's traffic that gets backed up along Amity.
only 15 houses on there, how's it going back up?
that's,
Yeah,
I don't
we're
understand
15.
it, but
Either,
she's
yeah.
saying there's cars, 2 or 3 cars piled up there with that new stop sign.
Yeah, and it's on a hill, and you end up, and also the people who live in this house, the Reif Snyder's family, well, is that that's not your family, is it? Who get the headlights as you're coming and stopping at that stop sign?
You can't control that.
Well, all I'm saying,
Jesus.
well, all I'm,
Always dealt with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the stop sign there, as far as I'm
The stop
concerned, needs
sign
to be
back there
removed.
by
Right
The
there.
one coming up on
Change the-
Notch,
keep
when you
this
turn
one
left on
stop,
Notch.
that way.
And as you're coming off Amity and you're making a left-hand
Oh,
turn.
that second one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Makes
that
sense.
second one,
Yeah.
that's not needed.
That may-
Okay, so
Try it anyway.
Yeah, we'll go that route.
so what route did we just decide to go? Because
Just put stop signs there and yield,
yeah,
and stop there.
right, and then pull this one that you're coming off.
You're gonna have to leave it,
You're
because
gonna, you gotta have a, yeah.
Frank,
if they're going straight,
no.
there's gonna be people driving into each other.
I'm talking about this one that
Well,
was
then how
never
about a
there in
yield?
20,
How about a yield there? You need
Right here.
something to tell people,
Right here,
you know, don't just come flying through here.
yeah. And that
You
will,
need a
when you're
yield or
coming,
something.
when you're coming up from Amity onto
Yeah.
Notch,
You need a yield.
you
There
can
is.
see to your right, if
There's
nobody's
currently
coming,
a
you keep
stop,
going.
right?
Yeah,
say again?
There was
Frank?
never really a problem from Amity on to Notch.
Right,
yeah.
The problem was from Notch on to Amity from, from Frank's direction.
right, correct.
Okay, that
Because
was the
people,
problem.
yeah,
Because
people
you'd
come,
be on Amity and you'd
Yeah.
think the coast was clear.
Right.
You'd be turning left on to Notch, and here comes somebody at 40 miles an hour
Right.
banging
Yeah.
into the turn, and,
Yep.
you know,
Okay.
there they are.
so, like I said, we're in agreement
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
this.
Yeah, really just,
So
you
if
know,
that
one
stop,
sign in
if
each
that
direction.
stop in that Y,
Right here,
no, the other,
right here.
no,
Here.
that she's
Now.
bitching about, that one there.
Yeah.
Not, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say bitching, she's talking about,
Yeah,
if that were yield,
yeah, that'd be
at
fine.
least people would know that
Slow
you
down a
can't
little
just
bit.
fly through here.
And go,
You,
right.
you
Yeah.
could be having somebody pulling out, or, because see, these people were stopping way back,
Yeah,
And they could
and then
pull
coming
up this
straight
way.
through.
right,
So technically, they should still be stopping, because once these people stop here, they can go straight
right.
through.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you can see, you have a pretty good visual, especially since they've cleared out a lot of the debris and the trees and everything. You can see fairly clearly. You can actually see best from up here back on Notch, to be able to see what's coming both ways. To stop back down here is redundant, and it's, you have to really crank your head around, to look left, so that's
You
whatever
have
he's.
to crank it to yield, too, that's the point.
Well, but I'm saying, if it's stopped back here, you can see before you get down there if there's anybody coming your way. Like I said,
Let's
we're the
just
ones who
try
drive
this
it all
one
the time.
Really, if we had a stop sign, see, here's Notch.
Yeah,
If we had one right here on Amity, this one might be optional. But if we had one
but there you
here,
can't. The state man said no.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But here
This
was
one here,
the
you can move
biggest
down to
problem.
that drive, beside that driveway.
Yeah, there's a driveway there.
Yeah, you have to be there.
You have to be the backside of that drive.
You know,
Okay.
the west side.
Okay, so you'd have to be, well, here's the driveway, so you'd have to
You have to
be,
be in here, yeah.
oh, before the driveway?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because once you get
Okay.
the driveway, then we got that bank.
Yeah,
Right
yeah, there
there.
is, yep.
Uh-huh.
And that poses a problem.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but I'm saying take out the stop sign that's here, this.
Yeah, the one that's here, that one there,
It's a pain
that
in
one
the
can
butt.
go, because, yeah, once you're back here, you can see everything from back
Right.
here.
And like I said,
This would be a stop,
Yep, that would be a
Yield here.
stop.
this would be a yield,
That would be fine.
know,
And the yield
That would
right
be
here.
fine.
and this is a yield.
And that would,
That would be
I'll try
fine.
it. I'll-
But the
I'll
biggest
set
thing
it
is
up.
to do something about coming up from here.
yeah.
Yes.
That's the biggest problem,
Yeah.
to slow them down or something.
Something come around the
Because that's
corner.
banked nice. I mean, if you could
Yeah.
go, if you hit that right, you
Oh, yeah,
could,
you
you
can- you
could
can
slide
go.
right around that and keep going.
yeah.
Meanwhile, you're turning here and, well, you know.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
Well, Nancy and I go over the signs there, we'll have to. Okay.
Did we do what's necessary?
Thanks, Brian.
What's that?
Did we do the study or whatever that's
Yeah.
necessary for those?
Jerry did that. I don't know how many times we. Okay, this is listener.
Okay, I'll
You
take
got- you
it,
got
that's
the
all taken
rescind-
care of.
go ahead.
I rescinded
Re-
the motion, so we're all set.
Rescinded the deal,
Yep.
right, okay, the fire company we got there. Anything new on the fire company?
You got your financial report for the month?
Yeah,
We do.
AEDs, we're looking into a little more. Last month we were told that the AEDs are still okay to operate. We can get batteries and pads for them, that if they break, there are no parts to get. So we're looking into that. Hoping that's good, but we are still going to pursue getting 2 new ones. So that's that. Ready to get going. We still have calendars for sale, yep.
Nancy, do you want to read the old business off?
Okay, old business, closeout of, was it? Oh, general fund at Orstown, holding off until the audit is complete. So we're gonna hold off on that, right?
Yep.
For now, okay. Computer security, expert costs,
We
we're gonna do anything with
we
that?
don't know
now?
anything about that extra cost.
Not right now, we don't. Okay, that's number 3, status of Saldo, Chapter 6, revision, Jerry is completed.
It's in my hands now to
Okay.
get it put together to give to the supervisors.
Okay. Credit card, Pliget, P card, need at least 3 years of audit forms. So what's the,
Well, we need to get the audits.
oh, okay, in order to get that,
Rising Sun letter back in my box.
okay, and then
He was in my box.
Rising Sun
She told
letter.
me he read it.
Are we still going to send that Rising Sun letter?
I would
I-
say yes.
And I,
I don't know what's in it, but
well,
I think I know where it's going, and I was back there last night.
Yeah.
I know it's still in place.
well, you know, you were back where?
I go back to Rising Sun every day.
Oh, and you know what, here's a suggestion I was thinking of, and I don't know exactly how many people are involved with that, but my suggestion is possibly, rather than offending maybe everybody on Rising Sun with a letter that they may or may find offensive, depending on how it's worded, of course, would be to go to the few individuals, what, yes? Yes?
You sit here and argue about the right of way. Your right of way is how many feet off the center of the road?
We actually own 25 feet from the center of the
From
road.
the center of the
Yeah.
road direction, am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
So it doesn't matter if I have grass planted to the edge of the road or not. If you're destroying it, it doesn't matter because you're within your right of way.
Right.
I'll just keep it nice and neat. Whatever you do because it's in your right of way. I can't say nothing about that.
right, well, I guess what I'm saying, I don't know how many people with the cones and things like
It
that,
doesn't matter.
well,
I
If
think
you're in the right of way, you can do whatever you want to do.
we
No
tried,
matter how much I sit here, if I own property along the road, and you tear it all up, as long as you're within 25 feet, I don't have, it's like on that concrete wall, for that's what I'm saying.
no, I understand that, but I guess what I'm saying is, why not send a letter out to everybody in the township then? You know, in other words, apparently there are just a couple of people who are putting maybe cones or something out,
And some got trees and stuff in there too.
But I mean-
right away.
Yeah, but that's been in there for 7 months.
Yeah.
well, I know, it's because we've been debating whether to send it out or not, that's why, and again, because there have been letters that have been sent out and been very, this was a while back, essentially,
If you're gonna send a letter out, send everybody in the township, say township right of way is from 25 feet off each side of the road.
right.
And what happens, you don't have a say in it.
Well,
Plain and simple.
Move
I
on.
understand that, but, okay.
I don't know how else to put it. I mean, we sit here and argue everything.
No, we're
Yeah.
not arguing. We were just, it's been something that's been brought up on the agenda, and we were sort of, I guess, maybe postponing it because we didn't know if it was an absolute necessity or if it could be handled more diplomatically. That was my suggestion, but
First,
anyway,
we did contact those people individually.
Yeah.
Carl's done that
okay.
in past years,
We
Yeah.
never got
and they still put their
Well,
phones
what Ann
out.
was saying,
Yeah.
Frankie, everybody needs to know that, not just Rising Sun. Everybody in the
In the whole
township needs to
township.
know that the township is now enforcing the 25-foot
Well,
right-of-way.
but see, it's not,
They need to know that.
it's not
And
25
then you
everywhere.
guys gotta deal with
Yeah.
whatever
It
comes
is-
out of that.
It's only 25 in Rising Sun.
Yeah, just
Okay,
certain
then
areas.
need
You
to-
can't get
okay, you
everywhere,
still need to
except
send
new-
a letter
new-
out to
new
everybody
lots.
in the township saying, Rising Sun is 25 feet, the rest of you people are X amount of feet.
Yeah,
So we all know where the township is coming from.
I'm gonna tell you what, we can put that in the
Yeah, I
next
see what's being
newsletter.
said. I do
Yeah.
understand that.
You can't keep having these meetings and belaboring, you're losing people
Yeah.
because of this constant harboring and not making decisions, and then turn around the next month, as Ambrose pointed out, and bringing it
Yeah,
back up.
it's not going nowhere.
The people have to be kept informed. I told you guys that back in May or March, and here we are again, we're bringing it up again.
Go ahead.
Okay,
I know, I'm not.
Now, what we're gonna
Just
do
being very
is,
diplomatic
the
here.
next
Whatever
newsletter
decisions
goes out,
are made needs
it will
to
be in
made.
there where everybody in the township will get one.
Absolutely, then that's great.
That'll
So if
happen.
it's 10 feet for
Okay.
the one end of the township, and it's
That's
15
what we
feet
were
for
with
another end of
16
the
and a half
township, and 25
and
for another,
25.
they need to know that.
Okay. I'm gonna go home very shortly.
okay,
What are you-
okay.
What are you
All right,
doing?
so,
What are you doing?
so-
Nothing? Just the Rising Sun letter.
We didn't do anything yet.
Not
Because
gonna-
I
Are you
just
gonna,
assumed
we should,
do we have it here?
no,
Have it in my phone.
no, it's, like I said,
Have you seen it?
Yeah,
I
I
read
have.
it, but I don't remember it. I apologize, I don't remember it.
yeah, it's, like I said, the only thing is, you're saying you've spoken with these people?
Yeah, and the trees are still growing out in the road, and Jerry went and looked at them maybe and stuff.
well-
I keep telling you, we actually own that.
Yeah.
They do not.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
not
you can,
right of way.
you can see the
We
iron
own
pin
the
there.
road. They
We own
only
that.
own 25 feet.
We own 50-foot right away down
That's
to
where
the
their property stops.
Yeah,
So we actually own that strip. It was dedicated to us as part of the subdivision. So it's different than a township,
other-
most township roads even. Keep
Yeah.
in mind, there's
I
a
just-
50-foot
just-
strip
yeah.
through there that belongs to
let's
the
go on to the
township.
next one.
Okay, okay, let's see, audit 2013. Yes? Anything?
Nope.
No, okay. Act 537 committee members. I have not heard from the gentleman who is usually setting that up, have you?
No, I have not.
So we haven't heard anything from the gentleman who's doing the 537 Act that we had
Engineer.
hired, the engineer. So we'll give him a call on that.
And what's the status of the audit?
Of the what?
The audit?
They're working on that now.
They're working on, Tom and Mary are working on that audit. His mother had passed away, so
Did
they are
we-
getting back on it now.
Did we send him or email him all the copies that we were gonna send him, or
No, I have not had time.
does he have that to work with now?
He
or-
has the spreadsheets.
Yes.
So does he need those, or what?
He really just needs to spot check some of the invoices and make sure the deposits are all accounted for.
So would it make sense that instead of you doing every one,
Well, that's what was
It-
decided at the last
All
meeting,
right.
was I was to scan them all.
You had to go,
okay, and is it possible that he asked you, if he were to ask you for specific ones, you said to spot check or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that you could send them to him? If he-
Yes.
If he
If you
gave you a
had-
list, you said, I have
Yeah.
a question on
Yeah.
this, this, and this?
Yeah, I mean, I sent him the check ledger that has every, description and who to, and
I mean,
Is
if you can,
Is
if
there
you
anything
can
that would be better
contact
to...
him,
I'm sorry.
there's no need to give him more than he needs. If he doesn't want them, just ask him, okay, what do you need?
Mm-hmm.
And if he says all of it, then I guess you're stuck with all of it, but if you
he
follow what I'm
probably only
saying?
need, whatever, if he just pulls you up ones, that's all you really need, because that's all I need for my accountant.
Right.
He asks me for things, and that's,
right. Well, I will contact Tom.
So you'll ask him what he needs and then
Yes, I
just
will.
yeah, check,
email him
Yes.
those
tell him what he needs.
copies.
Yes, I will.
Anything else you need with that?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I got a
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
We were discussing right-of-ways just a minute ago. And I remember reading through the second-class code about trees and shrubbery and such in reference to the right-of-way.
Yeah.
If the township truly owns the right-of-way and the width of the right-of-way, then why is there a section 2325 stating that, well, let's see, the Board of Supervisors or its agents shall not remove any shrub or tree growing within the right-of-way of any township road or street except those shrubs and trees the Board of Supervisors finds to constitute a hazardous or dangerous condition to the use of the highway, or those which impair the use or maintenance of the public road or street. And then, you know, to save a little time, it goes into size of the tree trunk diameter and does have some information about who gets the wood and so on and so forth. It seems to imply that the township doesn't own that stretch if they have to go ahead and reimburse the property owner.
Well, in the case of Rising Sun,
Okay.
we do own it.
What?
We outright own
The
the strip.
township owns
Okay.
We own
Rising
the road.
Sun.
That
So
was-
it's a
that
different
was-
situation?
And
Yeah.
same way
Most
with,
township roads, we simply have a 16.5 from the center right of way.
Okay.
In this case, we actually, as part of the subdivision, they deeded
They
that
dedicated it.
strip
Okay.
to the township.
Yeah.
So it's a little different in Rising Sun.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
even at
It's-
that, I don't think you're proposing removing anything that isn't hazardous.
no,
Yeah, I was just wondering because I knew I read this somewhere.
Yeah,
And I
it's
just
a-
wanted to
what's
clear
ever
up that, okay, the township does truly own that
Yeah,
section.
same-
It's
same
not
with-
right away like a normal situation.
same
Only
with
in
Pine
this-
Tree,
Just to-
same way.
Just so it's perfectly, only in this situation.
Okay.
This is different than most of
All
the
right.
township roads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Number 8.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay, website posting, need IT assistance working on, and I guess we're still looking at that, right?
I talked to Brian a
Brian?
little bit today about some of the website
Okay.
software.
Oh, that's right, yeah, you had
So-
some good ideas about
Yeah,
that. Okay.
Yeah, so
good.
he gave me some suggestions, and I'm going to start looking into that.
Okay, very good. Okay, number 9, Fox Lane, Pondview Lane notified 911, so.
Yes, I
you've-
did.
You've notified them,
Mhm.
okay. Organizational meeting tabled, item PC appointment, office hours, vacant, okay. So we'll take this one at a time. Organizational meeting, or reorganizational meeting. We tabled a couple of the items, PC appointment. I do have a letter of resignation from John Dorman, so we can actually appoint Lee Seiler, as we were going to. This is a letter of resignation from John Dorman, and it is signed. So, yep. Yeah, so I'd like to make a motion to add Lee Seiler.
I'll make a motion
Wait.
to,
Oh,
You need to
I'm
make a
sorry.
motion
no,
to
we have
accept
to.
Oh,
his
his resignation.
Remove him first.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to.
I'm making a
I'm
motion
sorry.
to remove John Dorman
Dorman.
from the,
Okay, and I second that motion.
Accept his resignation.
Accept his
yeah.
resignation, and I accept,
oh, man.
second that, go ahead.
Okay, then I'll make a motion to appoint Lee Seiler.
Okay, and I
to take-
second.
Okay, all in favor, aye.
All right, and I accept that as well.
Yeah, okay.
Second that, I should say.
And you got the vacancy board rep.
I'd just like to stop saying,
Yeah.
thank you for following procedure. That protects us the best.
Yep.
So the
We'll-
vacancy
we'll-
board,
We'll do
Perks-
that at some
we
point.
have to, we get 30 days to fill him, we have to find somebody that wants to be there. And the officers, we're trying to let them as they are, table them as right now.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
The vacancy board, we have what?
We should
we have 30
reappoint
days to-
someone
to
for the
find some-
vacancy
we have to
board.
Find somebody to be interested in helping people. See, Perk Smith had that. He died.
All right, now, as far as doing
Well, we can just leave it. as it
the
is.
office hours. we're
Yeah,
talking
the
about.
same as they, we leave them the way they were.
Okay, so we've covered all that
So the office hours are staying the same.
at
Yeah,
this point in
stay the
time,
same,
yeah.
right. Keep.
Okay, new business,
I'd like
Oh,
to say
sorry.
something on new business.
okay.
I have a suggestion to the chairman. If he so chooses, if he would offer Mr. Pals uninterrupted time to say anything Mr. Pals would like to say regarding what was on his mind last month or what is on his mind at this time. As long as that would culminate in a voluntary resignation, I think that would be, in my opinion, the best course for Mr. Powell as well as the Perry County taxpayer, and that would allow Mr. Powell a dignified way to resign. And so I'm asking the chairman to offer that to Mr. Powell.
Well, I can't talk. Offer that to Mr. Powell if he wants to decline it right now.
I'll decline it at this moment.
Okay. Okay, move on then.
Okay. Let's see, new business, PSATs, let's see. I'm sorry. What? Oh, Frank, you wanted to have Frank repeat what he said?
I decline.
At this moment, yes.
At this moment, he declines.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. You see.
The PSATs, the ordinance that was
Oh.
advertised to reinstate our membership. What this is it's a group of townships that participate in this for the employer portion of unemployment. We get a lower rate than if we were to use the State Department of Labor and Industry. This is just an ordinance stating that it's an inter-cooperation agreement. And it's just stating that we are part of this, that we can get out of this if we so choose. But they need this ordinance in order for us to participate in this unemployment group.
So do we need to make a motion
Yes.
for adopting that ordinance?
Yes.
So I make a motion that we adopt this ordinance at this time for PSATs, essentially. Is that correct?
Well-
Or wording it, because you can,
Okay, here,
Yeah.
I'll read,
If you have
I'll
something
read the
that's
beginning of
written,
it for
that's-
everybody.
okay.
Ordinance authorizing the participation of Watts Township in the PSATS Unemployment Compensation Group Trust pursuant to the Pennsylvania Intergovernmental Cooperation Law. Ordinance 2015-01.
so I make a motion we adopt that. Second?
And second, wait till Frank
Okay.
comes back now, so. Oh, man.
Okay, what about
Well,
this?
we gotta wait and finish.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, just
Oh,
before.
That provides a significant savings over
Just so you read-
Yes.
read that.
And we usually get a dividend back at the end
I
of
read
the
it.
year
Okay.
because
Okay,
we
I'm not
aren't
going
drawing
nothing.
on it.
All right, I just
That's
thought,
it.
let you know,
No,
because he had asked me
There's
about
no
it.
way, no.
Okay, he had asked me, and I
Well,
just said I'd
Yeah.
let.
Watts
Yeah, I
Township
know.
has been with them for so long, I don't even know what the state rate was at that, at this point. It went down from
We're almost done.
I know.
5% to 4.5% for 2015.
So Watts Township still is participating, this is just...
Right, this is
Yeah.
just cementing the relationship,
Yeah,
yes. And as long as we don't have any claims, it will continue to,
yeah.
the rate will continue to
Yeah,
fall.
it won't really change anything, that's what I...
No, it
That's
won't.
what I...
But every year they send a letter and
Yeah.
if you have no claims, it continues to go down.
So we made a motion to, were you there? We made a motion to adopt that, Frank? Okay, and you left, so we wanted to make sure you, okay, so it's been seconded, all in favor? Aye.
All right. need to
Is she
sign.
running the meeting now? Is she running the meeting now?
Yeah, I can't talk.
Okay. So you want to appoint her
To what? She's vice chairman.
to
just
act
about.
as vice chairman since you can't talk?
She, that's her position. She can go. You don't have to do that. My mouth
Wanna
is
sign
tightening
that?
tightening up.
That's,
You got that, okay. Okay, and resolution for a budget? There's a resolution?
well, it was
Go ahead.
mentioned at last month's meeting that our budget is over in certain categories. Solicitor Finical prepared a resolution to appropriate, I'll just read the resolution. this resolution made by the Board of Supervisors of Watts Township, Perry County, in a regular session, said resolution as follows. 1, the budget for the road maintenance account for the calendar year 2014 was exceeded due to the severe winter of 2014 and the need to make repairs to the roads. Number 2, an invoice was approved by the board at the December 13, 2014 Board of Supervisors meeting for road repair, which invoice exceeded the original road maintenance account in the 2014 budget. 3, the funds used to pay the invoice were funds from the general account on hand. 4, pursuant to Section 3202, Section E of the Second Class Township Code, by the approval of said invoice, the Board of Supervisors was making a supplemental appropriation in the 2014 budget for the road maintenance account as authorized in the Second Class Township Code. The purpose of this resolution is to confirm the supplemental appropriation pursuant to law. So,
So I make a motion
you need,
to accept this, adopt this?
yes.
Okay, so I make a motion to adopt what Nancy just read.
Resolution
Resolution
15-03,
I'll second
which
it.
is appropriating additional funds to, not additional funds, but,
Just move.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, anywhere,
Why wasn't that motion made last month at the meeting whenever it was stated that the
I honestly did not know that, Linda. I honestly did not know that a resolution could be made to adjust the budget or make additional appropriations. I honestly did not know that.
Well, I didn't think you could pay bills until that was done.
Well, the budget is an estimate, and that was what Linus was saying, is that it's an estimate. And occasionally you go over due to severe weather, unpaid payroll taxes. It just, well, my question, I just happened to do a year-to-date budget in October. I don't know if that's ever been done for this board before I came. So if they looked at their budget figures from the previous years, they should have caught that. But honestly, I didn't know. I did not know that that had to be done. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes.
Well, we all do, but
I don't know
thought
everything.
that
Well, we
was
do-
brought out
we
last
do know
month,
now,
and I couldn't
yeah.
understand why it
yeah.
wasn't done at that last month.
Well, it was not mentioned to me until the meeting, and yes, I should have known, being a secretary-treasurer for 2 other townships. However, that has never been brought up, but now I know, and when you know better, you do better.
you took care of it.
Well, I have to completely disagree with this resolution. It says an invoice was paid, and by doing so, basically it's saying that you acted appropriately according to law. What he doesn't put, and he didn't put in his answer to our question, is that it was supposed to have been done by resolution, not just by paying a bill. I can't vote for this resolution because I find it entirely inappropriate. It sounds like CYA it's written all over it. That's the first thing. The second thing is, now we understand maybe that a year-to-date budget figures should be kept for us. You understand where I'm at?
I do, Mr. Paust, I do.
So,
And
last
my
year we
point
were going-
being, it was not done by any other treasurer in the previous years. And you're jumping on me because I did not know, and I've told you many times, face-to-face and in a meeting, I don't know everything.
Okay.
So once I learn,
I'm on
I
the
will
budget
do
plan.
better.
I'm on the year-to-date budget figures, okay?
Yes.
Last year, we agreed they would be done quarterly.
Well,
We did get one in
once
July.
again, I was busy cleaning up someone else's work.
Well,
And
we
I'm
have to
sorry if
adjust-
you think that's an excuse, but working 1 day a week, and yes, I did have my extra hours, which I was trying to straighten out payroll taxes that were not paid, fines and interest that were accumulating. I am to the point now that I will provide a quarterly budget report.
I think that's a wise decision, and
So do
would
I.
hope we would have had it last year. Maybe we wouldn't be in this circumstance, but
Well, I'm
we are
sorry you
here.
don't accept my excuse, but
I didn't
it's,
say I did
it's
not.
a,
Now, just
oh,
back
you
up.
have accused me of making excuses.
not
I'm
say
not
I-
making an excuse.
All right,
It's a
please.
statement of fact.
I did not say I didn't accept your quote-unquote excuse. I said I think we're at a good place. If we're going to
well,
get
thank you. I
quarterly,
do
if
appreciate
we're going
that.
to get quarterly statements, that's good.
I agree.
I really
I
think,
agree.
I really think we got the office in pretty good shape for as bad as it was.
I think we need more hours to catch up,
And it's been going,
That's,
but that's a different subject.
yeah.
do you,
Go
by
ahead.
the way, do you need,
I have to defend Nancy. I don't know her from Adam, but I put this problem that we had that Nancy has to clean up from the three of you that are setting up there. Why didn't you pay attention all these years before Nancy come in? And why are you putting, I understand what you're saying, Frank. I appreciate you telling her she's doing a good job and she has to do this, this, and this. But what you guys have to do is, you gotta put it on your shoulders that you screwed up, and it's not Nancy's fault that she has to clean up you guys' messes. Period end. And you can put that on record.
Right. We had two secretaries that, it put her in bad shape.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we're trying to get it resolved, everything.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, we had federal taxes that were out of the ballpark and fines and stuff. And she's resolving some of that stuff and helping us. It takes time. She's only a one-day-a-week person. And
Maybe we need more. You just talked about secretary hours, maybe we need more. We're not getting done. I mean,
that's our next
we
step.
just talked about it earlier.
Yeah, getting things
It's
out.
been on the agenda for 7 months or
6
whatever. I mean, that kind of stuff is embarrassing, to say the least. I mean,
Well-
something that's been on there for
Yeah.
7
Well,
months
Nancy,
should have
we
been
can-
taken care
I'm
of.
just gonna say, I'm gonna make a motion that we give Nancy 20 hours a week extra, not a week, I'm sorry, a month, that she can start working on any more.
We have a
I
motion
know,
on the
We got a
board.
motion.
we're
We
gonna,
gotta-
So we gotta
let's-
handle this.
all right,
But
go ahead.
that was part of the discussion.
right,
You guys have a resolution number 1503 on the table with the motion and a second.
right.
Yes. All in favor?
second?
Aye.
And I am opposed.
He's
Okay,
opposed.
that's
To
fine.
move on.
Okay, so
That's what we pay an
we're
attorney.
making, yes, we're making a motion and seconding that, and Frank's opposed. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so the next thing is, let's see, Perry County Convention, February 28th. That's the one at Greenwood Elementary School. Who all is going to go to that? You want to go?
Yeah, she knows that.
All right,
you going,
I'm
Pat?
going, yes.
I'm not.
Okay,
Frank's not.
and yes,
Okay.
Yes, Ambrose, I'd asked Ambrose, because they are having
Yeah.
a session on the emergency management
Okay.
plan.
Okay.
no, okay, I don't know, anybody else usually?
Teresa Carroll would like to go.
Oh, yeah,
She's getting credits for her class. She has to have 6 credits per year to be certified tax collector.
okay. And then last year,
She's getting
Bob
credits.
Hartline.
Yes, and Judy.
Did you want to go, Bob? Okay, and Judy? Okay. So, you have your
Okay,
tally?
yeah.
Okay.
The question is, what's there for our zoning officer, for example?
It's just general good information. You haven't been to the last couple ones. And it's like $15, I think.
Isn't the package in here?
It's in the red folder.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there are other zoning officers that come to that. It's not just,
That's probably in there. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, if we
Okay, so-
don't, it's more than $25 to sign. It's, registration is 15.
and that's all.
We're gonna be paying him by the hour.
To go,
It's an
To go,
obligation.
no, he's not
there's
going
no
to charge.
fee for that.
You won't charge us for that.
No,
No.
okay.
Jesus.
So we all set?
Yeah.
Okay, road, let's see, convention, PSATS convention.
With the insurance.
I'm sorry, I skipped over it. Are you done, Carl?
Still get lunch.
You done? I mean, I can move on?
Yeah.
All right, insurance renewal, include terrorism or not, notes from Morris Insurance Company.
Okay, our insurance policy is coming up for renewal. Robin Boris, who is our agent at Moore Insurance, asked me the question, do we want terrorism coverage included or excluded? She emailed me back. I told her we had a board meeting and I would ask the board what they'd like to do. She said, Nancy, if they ask, you can tell them that most people exclude it because of the way the coverage is written. There must be $5 million of damage because of the terrorist act. It must be from someone on American soil acting on behalf of someone from a foreign country. The premium is $200.
I think it was 5,000, wasn't it?
No, she
She put 5 million?
I think you're probably, I don't know, it says 5 million, but
Wow.
anyway.
So we should clarify
In
that.
other words, it has to happen at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, on the third day of the month, or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the way I read it.
Well,
Pretty
if
good
it's,
restriction.
if it's that much,
The premium's $200.
we don't need it then.
Well, I guess I would just check with her to verify the amount that has to be damages. I mean,
Well, it must be,
I mean,
well,
I
I
don't know if
can't
that-
wait until the next meeting
So-
because the
Yeah.
policy expires January 29th.
oh, how about if we make a motion to, it sounds like you folks don't want to do it, right? I mean,
No.
especially based on that kind of
No,
money?
that kind of
Yeah,
money.
it's $200, and it has to be a foreign entity.
Right.
It's not like one of you
Right.
comes in
Yeah,
and
so we'll-
terrorizes.
For that kind of
the place.
money,
Yeah,
the
no,
whole
I got it.
township
We
would have
don't-
to
we're
blow
not
up.
No,
And none of
So-
us will be here anyway.
okay, so
It's terrorism.
Yeah.
so I guess we're making a motion not to do that. I mean, we're not going to do that. We're not
Who
gonna-
made the motion, please?
Yeah, I make a motion. we don't
Okay,
do
and
that.
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye.
Drop it to
Okay.
it.
So, I mean, if you happen to find out it's a different amount, let us know.
All right.
Okay? All right, and then PSAT's convention, who's going to that? I'll go to the PSAT's convention.
Bob wanted to go.
Bob, you want to go? You want to go? You should don't go.
I don't want to go.
Okay, and Frank does not want to go, so, okay. So it's myself and Bob Hart. Roadmaster reimbursement for road crew, personal clothing when
Tarring.
tarring. That was tabled. Do you want
Yeah,
to
table that. right
table
now.
that right now? Okay.
I'll
Planning-
get that resolved this
Okay.
month.
Planning Commission report. We don't have anything for the Planning Commission other than we have been working with Brian and his group and actually making some headway, I would say.
We've been talking.
Yeah, so, and we will continue discussion on that.
We'll discuss next week.
Okay. All right, other than that, make a motion to pay the bills.
Question, some of these, we still have our guys working full-time all through December?
No, they're not.
Well, I just saw
Well, they
80
have-
and 80.
well, they're not working now. I mean, through December they were, yeah, but now they're not.
But December was the month when we were over budget.
Yeah, we were working another, we had a lot of work we got done, but we're okay now, for right now.
All right, Snyder Paving has a $2,000 bill in here, what did we do?
Well, he had his equipment with the blacktop rising stuff.
And $2,000, though, did we discuss that? Using anybody, or who authorized $2,000 for paving?
I did, the roadmaster, for the blacktop, we were doing that section of road, and it was him and Fernley down there, and he was cheaper than Fernley.
Well, I guess my point is, as a supervisor, we're supposed to be watching our money. And here's $2,000 that just went out and got spent when we were already over budget. And I don't, the roadmaster, according to the code, as I understand it, is supposed to work at the direction of the supervisors. Not just go out and spend our money. If we're
We're not
spending.
spending money, we didn't know we were gonna do that road, Frank, and you know.
But
Know
we
that it
didn't-
had to
we-
be done.
But we didn't know we were gonna spend $2,000 on this, and then up here we spent money on pipe or inlets. I mean, here's $438 for an inlet. Down here, there's $500 and some dollars. I mean, that kind of stuff we talked about 2 years ago, about bringing to the board before you spend it, so we can be apprised of what we have for expenditures.
So, all right, so, and I understand what you're saying, and I'm, so if there's a large amount of money that's going to be spent in the future, and I mean, I know that route had to be dealt with.
Yeah,
So
but
then
if we don't-
Carl should just let us know in advance, as much
We
as he
just-
can, what needs to be spent in his
I
guesstimate.
thought that was the policy that
Yeah.
we adopted a couple years ago, that if the roadmaster
But when
is
we-
gonna is gonna spend any money except on maintenance, regular
I don't
maintenance,
remember that. If we can find that in a minute.
bills,
Okay.
bills for repairs, maintaining the trucks. If you're gonna do a project that's gonna cost us money, then the board should be approving it. We talked about that years ago, and I don't see why we wouldn't. That's,
Okay.
and
No,
that was my first question on the paving. The second is, why did we pay it? When was it done?
It's a couple.
It was
how
done
long?
in November.
Yeah.
And the bill was sent sometime shortly after?
Must have been.
The bill was sent in 12/10.
Here's the 12/18, or 12/8.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
There's no due date on this bill.
No.
So my next question is, why did we pay it without approval?
Did we pay them or not?
That would be
Yeah,
a
he was
question,
paid.
that would be a question for the Secretary Treasurer. But why was it paid without bringing it to the board first? If there's no due date on the bill. If there's a due date on the bill, then it would be bills that come due.
When was
Right?
the,
You
I'm
follow
sorry.
what I'm
when-
asking?
When was it submitted?
12/18, or 12/8, I'm sorry.
12/8, he submitted it. He never put a due date on it.
I was told to pay it.
I told her to pay it. So
Okay.
it's my fault.
All right, so we should try to stop doing that, okay?
Well, yeah, we'll
know
do
what
things a
I'm
little different. And what we're going to do is, we're not going to do anything, Frank, because like Ambrose said, right, Ambrose? If we have a problem, just shut the township down. Don't worry about, yeah, you remember when they complaining about everything? We won't fix
If that's
nothing.
your answer, then that's not much of a supervisor duty, that's all.
Yes, it is a supervisor duty. I forgot more about doing that stuff, Frank, and you ever know, and you know. But I'll work with you. Next time, we'll have a little discussion, what we're going to do and who's going to get paid.
Well, I didn't say nobody should get paid, and I never said what you're accusing me of saying. I'm saying that if these bills are coming up, we and the public have the right to know that
But
we're gonna be spending $2,000 this month.
We're going to be, when spring comes, we're going to spend more than $2,000.
Then those big projects that are gonna cost money should be brought up at a meeting. That's all we're saying.
We already have them in the budget.
They're budgeted, but we don't know what they are. If you decide that you're gonna do a $10,000 project this month, then all our money's gone that we budgeted. And then the next month, you decide, just like here we are, in December and out of money, you decide to keep spending. Well, that should be brought to the board. That's what, actually, our policy was, and that's what the code says.
Well, we did it this way, now we'll just change it. But the bill came due, and our thing said, any bills that come due after that are payable.
It's paid. That's all that matters.
That's all that
But
matters.
if
The man's
if there's
paid.
no due date on it, I didn't understand why it was paid. Simple question.
Well, his due date was the date he gave it.
Okay, you paid
Okay,
it.
right.
It's done.
Right.
You know, yes.
All this bickering isn't helping anybody. Emergencies are gonna come up, things are gonna have to be done. You're not gonna call everybody, you're not, damn sure not gonna call every one of us township people, residents, and say, hey, I gotta put a pipe in, it's gonna cost $500, what do you think of that? You're not gonna wait till the next meeting. Put a budget on something. You know, what do you consider too much for an emergency? Is it $1,000? Is it the $2,000 I have to charge for paving? Get a minimum, allow access to that price or whatever, and then if it goes beyond that, then make the call.
Well, I don't think anything's been done recently that was an emergency.
Well, I
As simple
understand
as
that, but there's projects that need done.
There's projects
roads
that-
need done, there's edging that needs, there's always something that needs done in a township.
Exactly.
You know, whether it's.
And those
considered
projects
burn
need to be
maintenance, summer
scheduled,
maintenance,
so
whatever.
don't you think they need to be scheduled so they fall within our budget? That's all we're saying.
I understand
Schedule them
that,
so they
but
fall
some
within
things
our
happen
budget.
that you can't budget for.
Nothing like that has happened.
I've been in excavating most of my life. Things pop up where you cannot plan. Okay, you can plan a blacktop that road. Just like the line painting. We plan on doing that, what, August, September.
Right.
It didn't happen because okay, it happens.
But we
Some
approved
things
that.
happen to be done
And
at
we-
that point in time.
and we approved
with no
that.
discussion.
Nothing has happened in this township that was of an emergency status.
But not everybody is available when an emergency comes up. If it's something that needs done, just do the damn thing. We'll
like-
worry about it.
And that's what we do. If it's an emergency, we do it. But if it's not an emergency, it should be
All these
brought
bickers
before
getting
us.
somewhere, man. This is every meeting we come to now, we got bickering.
Yeah,
Yep.
because the
I mean,
bills,
I'm at the point where
the
this
bills
lady
are
made a
being,
I'm speaking. This lady made a perfect example of why people are not showing up here, because month after month, the board is fighting among themselves. You're not fighting with the residents, you're fighting among yourself. If this keeps up, I'm saying, all of you should give your damn resignations, and get somebody in there that can work together. Communication, you wanna blame this lady because she didn't do that? You're a supervisor, how come you did not go to that young lady and say, excuse me, ma'am, you know, or where's our budget for whatever this was?
because we're not informed.
She wasn't informed. Nobody did it for how many years? If you knew about it, how come you did not approach that young lady? I'm not jumping anybody's ass. I'm just getting tired of coming to the same shit every month.
Yep, I
It's
agree.
getting ridiculous now.
Well, if we would follow the rules, we wouldn't have to
I
argue over
understand
that.
that, but sometimes rules are meant to be broken because of
Well,
emergencies.
Emergencies are a different situation. We haven't suffered an
But
emergency in
it's
this
the
town.
same shit every month.
Yep, you can call it the same stuff, but it's the same stuff, overspending and not informing anyone. When you see this year's budget, you will see, down, our funds went, less than 180, here, it's in the back of your book. It's right here, $163,000 is what's left in our coffers. Now, there's money in the liquid fuels that we can't touch for general fund. $163,000. Just 2 years ago, that was $380,000.
Okay, I understand that. but
Now,
you're
where's that money
complaining
going?
about
If
paying
we
a
don't-
bill That something's already done. You don't pay that money, what's he gonna do? Come dig up the damn road?
I didn't say not pay him, I simply questioned how it was paid and why it was submitted. You need, try to understand what I'm asking. Let's pay it properly,
I'm trying, I really am.
let's keep track of it. Otherwise, you go from 380,000 to 163,000 in just a couple years, which is what's been
I
happening.
just think we need to communicate more.
Yep, I agree.
See, that's what
No
you're
problem.
saying. I get what
I
you're
don't,
saying, I get what Frank's saying. What he's
I've got to
saying
make a
is they
motion
have
to
a budget.
give Nancy $20 a month, yeah, I'm doing that. And that's, and then we're done.
Yeah.
As far as I'm
But
concerned.
what they didn't get, what's not being said, it wasn't an emergency to have that done. It was listed in the budget. But the emergency is now, do we have the funds in there to pay for that? Because it's an emergency because they waited too long to do it to begin with.
All right, how many houses are on that road?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, we gotta look at all.
But there's a reason why they blacktop it, whether it's for winter maintenance or whatever. You ever try to plow
Oh,
dirt road with
absolutely, absolutely. That plow already ain't gonna fight because you don't have to run into the plow.
Okay, well, maybe that was the reason, I don't know, but we just seem to be bickering about the same stuff every month.
All right, all I want to,
Go ahead with your motion.
I think the bottom line here is, what needs to be done is, they need to decide what they're gonna do. They have to tell the township people, I've got $100,000 scheduled for this work to be done. All right? If a true emergency comes up, that budget is approved. So those expenditures should be paid.
But it's an estimate.
But I get you, but here's, follow my thought process here. So if emergency comes up, then they do have to vote on that emergency. I disagree with you, Frank, that you react, all three of you should get together and decide if that emergency takes precedence over. And then you gotta readjust your budget to compensate for what you took out to take care of that emergency. You see what I'm saying?
and the budget, well, I need to say that the budget is not an estimate. You've heard those words? It's not an estimate. It is actually a required action in the code. We have to set amounts for different items. Each item is set in our budget, all right? When we exceed those amounts,
We have
there's
to
a
adjust it.
procedure that we have to take to make more allocations. We have the money in our coffers, in the reserve, okay? But if we keep spending it, like we are now on the regular stuff, when that big emergency comes up, it's not gonna be there. That's what I'm saying. It's not an estimate. It is a binding contract that we have to follow, and if we exceed it, there is a binding procedure that we have to follow to exceed it. We can't just say, let's spend more.
But if you go on the precedence that you've got that reserve to back you up if you make a mistake, to bail you out, you're not going to last very long as a township here, period end. That reserve should not even be thought of, period end. It's there, but that's only there in case we get into a
It makes sense.
Catastrophe.
catastrophe
paving should have been gone out for bid, so that would have gone before the board.
Yes.
It
Would there
didn't,
have been bids?
Is it
Did
10,000
it go
or
out
more?
for bid and therefore?
didn't exceed the amount.
10,000 or more you have to put out for bids.
Three phone quotes.
And
then after
actually,
that,
Carl did check with several different people before he got
You got
that
to get
bid.
verbal bids.
But you probably line up at the beginning of the year what jobs you want to get done.
Yeah, we have
We
an
have it for
idea
next
what,
year, yeah.
what we need to do.
Was this paving ever discussed at a board meeting? I don't remember.
It was brought up at a board meeting that it had to be done. It's, Nancy read in the minutes.
Yeah.
It was for rising, pine tree.
Never heard that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I do recall
It
it.
was in the minutes when I,
I think it was, the paving was discussed, but the
So this
details
wasn't in
were.
your original budget?
Yeah.
This was outside the budget that this paving had to be done? If we're all clear, so we're all on the same page?
yeah.
So this $2,000 paving was not in the original budget that they had originally, but they considered it an emergency to fix it?
I thought they said it wasn't in the budget.
No. They just said.
Was
it
that in the
not.
budget or not?
I've got a budgetary question here.
Go ahead.
Right now, it shows $38,428.97 in checking.
Mhm.
What are the projected revenues for the year?
Do you want to deal? No.
It's in,
Bring my
it's in
budget
next
with me.
year's budget.
You're talking for 15.
Yeah, because, you know, that's
Never
getting
know where-
down there, so I figure that at some point there should be money
We had,
flowing in.
yeah.
I know, what I can tell you that I remember is the
Two
revenues,
was-
next year's budget proposed expenditures exceed the revenues by $2,000. So
Okay.
what
Yeah.
that would mean is $2,000 has to come out of current checking or savings.
Okay,
So it's only over by 2,000 what is budgeted for next year. We
okay.
don't know what we hit for this year's budget, except that certain items, line items are definitely over. That's all.
So
That's all.
you're saying, Frank, there's more than $2,000 that possibly could have to be coming out of these other accounts?
Yes,
that
for
were
next,
over
for
budget?
next year, if we go over our budgeted amounts.
Okay.
Are we all
Yeah, we're
finished
done.
with that? Okay, thank you for your comments. And it's,
Thank you for partially hearing what.
Sure. No, that's-
Trying to get across.
like I said, I think no one has a problem at all with hearing what you folks, we need to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, but you need to hear us, but you need to
Act.
act on what we're saying
Yeah.
as well.
Let her have a one motion yet, and then
Okay.
go.
Yeah, I just have one motion I want to get in then, Linda. I just want to make sure I get it in,
We
so.
need to pay the bills.
But I know, but I'm gonna, let me get a motion, because usually what we do is we pay the bills and then we're done. I just want to make sure that we make a motion to have hours for Nancy to the tune of 20 hours per month, so she can do any catch-up. Not per month?
No,
Oh,
quarter.
I'm sorry, per quarter, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, okay.
Is that-
Yeah. you
I
want
don't
more?
come close to that
Okay.
either, so.
Yeah, and if she doesn't need it, fine, but at least allotting her that amount if she needs it. So 20 hours per quarter, as needed. And do I
For
hear a-
January.
For January, February, and March, right?
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
quarter. Okay.
Do
now-
you
now-
have a
now-
second?
Yeah, I second it.
Okay.
All
All in favor, aye?
Okay.
Okay.
Linda's-
Yeah, Linda, did you have something?
Yes, when we're talking about doing projects that haven't been brought up at the board, and maybe projects that we don't understand why they were done.
Mhm.
The one of it is up at Pat's property. That drain box, all the pipe that was put in there, that was unnecessary. We can't figure out what it was put in there for, because there was never runoff on that road. Jane Casey's lived there for I don't know how many years, and she says they've never had a problem back there with water.
Well, when we
Ever.
figured the color soccer, figured all that stuffing, doing it, and eliminated it. So we'll catch it, that's it. Go ahead.
That I beg to differ, and I don't mean to step on toes, but if you were ever up there before that stuff was put in, our yard is a swamp because all that road water runs through our yard. And I fixed Mrs. Casey's driveway personally from all that runoff. So hopefully that will help, putting that pipe
Did we
in
do
drain.
something on this side?
Not,
Did we do
not
anything
the
on
way
this
it's
side?
done.
We just graded it, graded that side.
Graded so it stays in the shoulder.
Once you got down there so far, it crossed the street right at my neighbor's and flooded right through my yard.
Well, we took
Driveway?
the pictures
We have a
of
box
the
of
drain
James
box,
driveways.
and there's nothing
And we have one
Yeah,
other
you're
side.
taking it
Graded so
with
it
what
can
they've
stay
done. You have to be there
Everything was okay.
just like your yard, how your yard used to flood That's how our yard used to flow.
Still does.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. The water ran across the street down through our yard. Now with that drain there, hopefully that's gonna stop most of it and it'll take it down through.
The one at James,
And the one at Pat's, at the driveway.
I don't think, because that's,
Well, we won't know until we get hard rain and see.
well, I've already
Okay.
done.
Let's pay the bills. Okay.
Was the water running across the street?
No, there's no water
Then it
running
did its
across
job.
the street. There's no water running through the drains. They're dry in the bottom, the pipes, there's nothing coming out.
We figure right now,
I can
with
show
our
you
budget
something.
as low as it is, that that should not have taken place. And we couldn't figure out what the purpose of it is. And the stone that went back on your driveway went back, what, 40 feet, 50 feet?
The stone that's,
It was put on your
that,
driveway.
I tell you what, my driveway got torn up very badly. And it,
Are you
what?
talking about 2 Hidden Lane or
Two Hidden-
277?
You're talking,
277.
oh, wait, whoa, that's our gravel.
Well, oh, no.
That's- What are you talking about? There was,
I
There
think they-
was work done on your driveway.
The township brought stone out and put it, I have pictures of it.
okay, well, I'm saying on that,
They did, we didn't know about it because
Oh,
we
my
were told,
gosh.
oh, come on now. We were told they took,
Bullshit again.
we weren't out there. They took the gravel
wrap it
that Roar Bus put down.
and pulled it back.
On our driveway. That's what they did.
Who pulled it back?
The
The
township.
township, because they made it according to code. Our driveway.
Was it within the right of way?
Yes.
Okay. That's a-
Oh, absolutely within the
No.
right of way. They did what they wanted. We had no say in it.
Yeah, we didn't have any, believe me.
Well, as long as they didn't go past the right of way, there's not an issue.
No.
But if they went past the right of way, then we have an
Those
issue.
pictures, they took the stone and built it clean back to the bottom.
Oh, I'll tell you why they did it. Now, that's 2 Hidden Lane, that's not 277.
That's in my.
Yeah, and the reason they did.
Make a
that
motion
is
to pay the
because
bills.
they took-
Yeah, make a motion, I make a motion to pay the bills.
Okay, I second the motion.
What? Frank's opposed.
Okay, so
Okay.
make a motion to pay the
Make it
bills,
adjourn. Go.
second first. Okay, you make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah. What's that?
Do we want to give him a chance to resign again?
On the 2 Hidden Lane, now, he showed me pictures of 2 Hidden Lane. We didn't want it done. It was not, my God.
Just like that. Did you want to re-ask again with this other thing or not?
Secretary.
One thing before you go, I like to ask Carl a question.
What happened to
that?
his letter?
What?
Whenever the guy spread this stone back, probably about 50 feet to where the tractor was, up in Bob, or Missouri, or not Missouri,
Let me sign that.
Tim Doyle's old lane.
You don't need to read it, I'm asking the secretary to read it.
Did you tell your guys to spread that stone back that far?
No.
Well, they told me that they were able to spread stone back in there a lot further because of it being a subdivision.
No. I told them before not to do that because they did that down on, what, Twilight Lane or something, or no.
I can't imagine
I-
them doing anything.
Go ahead.
Well, what they did, when they graded that for the lot line,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying, this is just my guess. When they edged the edge of the driveway with the straight blade,
Yeah.
the boys that did this job re-straightened their driveway.
Right, because they took a
If they
lot,
wouldn't have,
right.
they'd have had a hell of a lift to drive up over. I think that's what it was. I think that's where it meant. It's not they brought stone in. They re-spread it, they back drug the stone that was there for when they graded it.
Yeah.
277, so down on the 2 Hidden Lane,
Right.
they
You
dropped
wanna have
that
that
whole
again?
thing down to make it compliant.
Right.
They took all the rocks that I had in there out of there.
Right.
On Christmas Eve, my
All they're
neighbor,
doing
who
is
was a
just-
state policeman, he couldn't get back there in a 2-wheel-drive vehicle. because
Right.
it was so much
That's what I'm
mud.
saying. When they
So
drove
then
that
put
straight way,
they
that's
put
what dug it
stone
up.
back over it to make up for what they took out. So there was no favors done for crying out loud.
Never.
Oh, come on, it's ridiculous. I wish it would have never been done. We didn't want it done. Before they did it, why didn't you ask them?
I talked to her. If she was done, talk to Danny.
He was here before.
Where are we?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask the secretary to read a letter.
Right. January 7th, 2015, Watts Township Board of Supervisors. I will no longer sit on a board with fellow supervisors who ignore their supervisor responsibilities and duties, deceive the public, willfully degrade our attending citizens, and I refuse to continue watching this board deliberately make a mockery of the numerous state ordinances that mandate the required actions of a supervisor's board. This majority board's willful, inappropriate actions will eventually lead our township into legal dilemmas, which I refuse to be personally drawn into, and I will not accept those potential consequences upon myself for the board's overt violations. Just like 3 other supervisors recently, I am voluntarily resigning my position as Watts Township Supervisor, effective immediately. Submitted, Supervisor Franklin Paust.
So we make a motion to accept that? Make a motion to accept his resignation.
Second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay, now adjournment.
To read and sign that, so we have it for all of our records.
Well, we never made a motion to pay the bills, did we?
Yes, we did.
Did we? Finish it?
You don't need to sign one,
That's okay, we just have it.
so I get a signed copy.
Okay. Anything
And
else?
that's, so we're accepting his resignation.
Okay.
It's signed, she keeps that copy.
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn. We're all done?
Second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Days are between now and the next supervisors meeting.
When?
How many days are between now and the next supervisors meeting?
I don't have a calendar, it's probably,
What do you want to
Probably
know?
about
I was
20.
wondering how many days are between now and the next supervisors
20 or
meeting, because an
25.
appointment has to be made within so many days.
30 days.
30 days.
Oh, it is 30 on the dot?
Oh, yeah, it's 30.
Yeah, I didn't
30,
look it up. I didn't-
It can go 30 more.
Yeah, you can extend it.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to give you
That's
that
yours.
book.
Oh.
so
Oh,
you can
okay.
see.
Yeah, I didn't see
It
that.
can go 30.
I'll look that up.
What you,
Fireball. Keep it on.
Well, we should have a copy of our files too.
I gave you two.